And now all the pass rushers on the field.
Rattler in his own end zone throws, and it's broken up. What a great play by Jevon Holland.
Does an excellent job. You're going to see him. He's coming from the top of the screen. He's matched up on Olave right there from a deep position.
Scatterboo in motion. Dart right back to the air over the middle. He's got a man and a first down. That's Daniel Bellinger. The ball came out, though. Saints are saying they have it. The officials are saying Bellinger was down.
Unless the ball's moving as he's bringing it to the ground. He's got it. He's hit. He's down. Ball pops out.
Scatterboo right up the middle, following his offensive line, and he's going to be very close to a Giants first down. Gives the Giants a first down, seventh play of this opening drive. Dart looking end zone. He's got a man down there, and down at the one is Bellinger. Before the Saints have a chance to look at this one.
Really good action in the backfield and great ball handling by Jackson Dart.
Play action, Dart, end zone, wide open, touchdown, Theo Johnson. And so for the second straight week, the Giants score a touchdown on their opening drive. Worst red zone touchdown percentage in the NFL. They're 1 for 1 today.
You're only hurting yourself. You got to help yourself a little bit.
Rattler back in there, pitches to Kamara, trying the edge, makes a great move on Dexter Lawrence before Tyler Nubin tackles him. And that's a gain of 10 for Kamara. Back to Kamara, and the Giants were ready this time. And the first one to get there is Abdul Carter, a loss of 1 on the play. That's Taysom Hill in motion. Rattler fires, and that one's caught at the 41-yard line, very close to a first down. It's Chris Olave on the reception.
Receivers, they've got to find a way to break tackles and get additional yardage after the catch. Worst in the league so far this season. 3rd and 1, a quarterback keeper, and the Saints keep the drive alive in New Jersey against the Giants. Rattler has another completion. That's Devon Bailey on the catch.
As a free safety, and Tyler Nubin closer to the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 3. Rattler stands in there and throws. Shaheed makes an adjustment and the catch. A gain of 9 and a first down. That could be an issue for you as you try and match up if he gets into the secondary. 10th play of the drive. Rattler gets rid of it quickly. Olave's got some space. Olave down the sideline for a first down. Goes in motion. They hand it to him, and the Giants are there. Kayvon Thibodeau makes the play. A loss of 4.
Quick, and don't give them enough time to pick up a first down.
Rattler to Kamara, holds on this time, but Okereke all over him. Gain of attempt at 28-yard field goal. Out of the hold of Kai Kroger, and Groupie is good. All the best to KK. Yeah. Dart throwing, Bellinger, a.k.a. Malik Neighbors. 2nd down and 10. Dart looks right, nobody on the left. Dancing around the pocket, trying to take off, he will. There goes Dart into the open field, and he slides down with a first down. 3. Dart has plenty of time. Eludes the rush, throws, and a great catch is made by Slayton, and he's got some room. Darius Slayton out of bounds at the 17-yard line. And when he ended up throwing the ball, Jason, I was thinking, just go. Like at that point, just commit and go, because he almost threw a pass that was incomplete. Got Theo Johnson on the nub side, the back end of the formation, one-on-one. Looking his way, and it's caught for a touchdown. Johnson does it again. Second touchdown of the game between Dart and Johnson.
Offenses, you wonder what was going to be their approach of how they attack without Malik Neighbors. We've seen a ton of 12 personnel, 2 tight ends in the game.
Average starting field position today for the Saints is their own 15-yard line. They open up this one at the 16. Miller hitting the backfield. Brian Burns. What a start to the season for Burns. A loss of 2 on the play.
He's doing every time he comes off this field, guys.
He said he wants to be a spark. On 3rd down, the Saints move the chains. That is the second catch for Devon Vele. Rattler has another completion and another first down. Olave with his third catch of the half.
You guys are hoops guys as well. They're trying to snap the Saints out of a little bit of lethargy here. So like a basketball coach.
Wow.
Look where he's lined up. Wildcat.
Hill looking to run it, and he fights for the first down. Rattler on the move. Pressure's coming. He gets rid of it to Juwan Johnson, who's tripped up by Darius Muasau. Saints are 4 for 6 on third down. This is 3rd and 12, and the receiver slipped to the ground. Incomplete. This year on field goals of 50 yards or longer, Grupe is 1 for 2. This is from 53 yards away, and it's good.
Yeah, the Giants fortunate they didn't get flagged on that one.
Dart steps up, he's going to run it, and he does not slide this time and takes a big hit from Pete Werner. Dart is not asking those questions yet. He's just taking off and going. See what he does here on 3rd and 8. Singletary, and he's going to be short of a first down.
Tight end in at fullback.
Play action, Rattler to the air, looking deep down the field. Shaheed's got great speed. He's got him. Shaheed down the sideline. 10-5, touchdown. There's the home run ball for the Saints. 87 yards.
They catch the Giants where now Tyler Nubin is matched up with Rashid Shaheed in the slot. And Spencer Rattler said, hey, we know this afternoon they're going to give us opportunities.
Oh, buckle up, Adam. Actually, they play 2 of the next 3 weeks, Giants and Eagles, starting Thursday night in New Jersey. Scattaboo up the middle. He's got the first down. 3rd and 2. It's a flea flicker. Dart's got a wide open man down the field, and it is incomplete. Slayton was open. Terrell Burgess got back quickly and was able to break it up. Rattler, pressure coming over the middle. It's Kamara. First down. Yes. Shoved out of bounds by Brian Burns. 2nd down and 10. Rattler, and he runs right into Darius Alexander, the rookie 3rd-round pick out of Toledo. Rattler on the slant, and he's got a short completion. Drew Phillips was right there to bring down Olave. It's 4th down. 52-yard attempt, and this one is no good. They still don't have a lead. Dart to Scattaboo out of the backfield, turns it upfield, and he's still going across midfield. He's got the first down, and he goes out of bounds. What a job after the catch by Cam Scattaboo. A gain of 14. Dart, and he's got a completion. Slayton lost the football, scooped up by Sanker on the return, and Sanker forced out by Singletary. A big turnover by Darius Slayton.
The Giants is Darius Slayton, but one of the better players for the Saints is the veteran Demario Davis. Slayton has a nice catch. Davis with the punch out to allow Sanker for the pickup.
Great job by Davis to get the ball out there.
Rattler to Cooks, his first catch today. Ripped down by Cordell Flott, the LSU product.
Spencer Rattler puts it in the right place. Johnson catches it, turns upfield.
Instead, it's 2nd down and 10. Rattler to Kamara over the middle, takes a shot at the 10. Kellen Moore runs down the field to call a timeout. And keep an eye on that man, Devon Vele, 6'5", 210. He's a big target in the red zone. Acquired in a trade with Denver before the season. Here's Kamara, and a great tackle is made by Paulson Adebo. A 29-yard field goal attempt for Grupe. And this one is good, and for the first time since week 1 in the first half, the Saints have a lead. Dart throwing to begin the second half, and Theo Johnson is tackled for a loss. Jonas Sanker, such a talented rookie. 3rd and 6. Scatterbo out of the backfield. Can he get to the line? No. Good job by Jordan Howden, who continues to play well in the absence of Justin Reed. You would think they would. To preserve a timeout, they do. Wan'Dale Robinson, and he may have just gotten enough. Dart, Adam, thank you. On 1st down, Dart to the air. Was looking deep for Robinson, not home. He's got all day. Now he's going to run, and he lost the football. It slipped right out of his hands, and the Saints have it. Cameron Jordan recovers the fumble. Dart, nobody touched him. It's Saints ball.
They are reciprocating to him, building him up, giving him that confidence to go forward in the second half, guys.
All right, AJ, 3rd down and 7. Pressure coming. Rattler throwing on the run. Olave is open. He found a soft spot in the Giants defense.
Give it to me.
Miller, right side. A stiff arm on Adebo, his former teammate, and then Muasau spins him out.
But he might be thinking bigger than that right here.
Taysom Hill at quarterback looking to throw to the end zone, and it's short of the end zone, but it's a 1st down. On 3rd and goal. Rattler running right, chased by Carter, throws to the end zone, incomplete. Looking for Juwan Johnson, and Dane Belton had the coverage. 28-yard field goal attempt for Blake Grupe, and he is good for the 4th time today.
Let's see if Brandon Staley wants to get a little exotic with him with what he throws at him on defense here.
Dart off his back foot, completes it to Bellinger, and he's got a 1st down. 3rd down and 3. Dart's going to keep it himself. Right up the middle, he's got the 1st down.
This time the tight end's in the backfield at fullback.
Dart, and that's Scatterbo. And Scatterbo tumbles forward for another Giants 1st down. Dart in the shotgun. Scatterbo. And the ball came out. No whistle. Howden going the other way. Howden's going to go the distance, and we'll have to see if this one stands. Take another look.
He's going through. Look at all this traffic.
Definitely
right there. There it is.
Not even close.
Ball popped right there. Big hand on football. And look at Howden sees it.
That's the 3rd turnover of the game. Hands it off to Singletary, and he just gets there. Dart, pressure coming off the edge. He's on the move. Dart trying to keep it alive. Throws across his body deep, and it's picked off. Kool-Aid McKinstry with his 1st NFL interception. Yep, that's Rattler at the bottom of your screen. Hill in at quarterback. Direct snap to Hill, following his blockers, and he's tripped up. We'll see where they spot it, but it appeared to be just short. Bobby Okereke was trying to make sure of that. 2nd and 10. Dart fires a strike, and that's Bo Collins on the reception. That's his 1st NFL catch. 4th down and 3. Dart steps up, looking to run it, and he's got the 1st down.
I don't know, that was one I would expect it called the way this game has been throughout the course of this afternoon.
Dart intercepted again. Kool-Aid has his 2nd, and they are drinking the Kool-Aid here in New Orleans.
How much does this offense miss Malik Neighbors? Look at this. Collins going to break inside. He stops his route. Kool-Aid McKinstry picks it off. The play before, Jackson Dart throws a jump ball. Hyatt's not able to come down with it. Those are plays one-on-one where you want to go to Neighbors. And right now, Kool-Aid McKinstry, have yourself a day with the way he has played. 2 interceptions.
Here, 4th down and 5, and they've got the offense on the field. They're going to go for it. Rattler over the middle, and he's got the 1st down. That's a gutsy call by Kellen Moore.
Very gutsy, Andrew. And I think some of it is he knew exactly what he was going to get from this Giants defense. I know I'm going to get man-to-man. For Spencer Rattler, you choose the matchup you like best. Shaheed is in the slot there, matched up against Banks. I think for the quarterback, you're like, I like my guy in that matchup. Beats him inside on the snap right now. Nice low throw for a completion and a first down pickup.
Hill. And that'll make it 4th down against the Kansas City Chiefs. Groupie from 46 yards away. This one is no good.
And Andrew, you said it. They don't have any substitutions for the wide receivers. So you run 40 yards down the field, you got to come right back.
Dart to Johnson. And Theo Johnson gets out of bounds.
Got the safety in the middle of the field over the top of everything.
Dart to Scatterbo. He's got some room to run. And instead of going towards the sideline and going out of bounds, he cuts it back inbounds. Dart, end zone, looking for Theo Johnson, broken up. Dart, pressure coming. Rolling right. Chased by Rumph, nowhere to go. Throws incomplete. Off the hands of Wan'Dale Robinson. And that should do it from New Orleans. So that'll do it from New Orleans. For Charles Davis, Jason McCourty, A.J. Ross, and Gene Steratore, this is Andrew Catalan saying so long from New Orleans. Now let's go to Philadelphia. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, and Tracy Wolfson.